Why hello again. In the last episode we explored how to do your character sheet. Very basic information. The next one we're going to do is how to be in a combat encounter. Combat encounters are gigantic parts of D&D, so you're going to have to know how to do them, obviously. And here I set up a little combat encounter. It's a zombie versus our main girl, Pamela, the pan wielder. So, let's get started. The first thing you need to do is the DM will go roll for initiative. That basically just means roll a d20. Pamela got a really good roll, 16. So you would put 16 right in your initiative slot, which is between the AC and speed slots. You just put that there, and as soon as the combat encounter's over, you have to erase it because you're not going to have that initiative for the next combat encounter. It changes every time. And then the DM. See this thing? It's called the DM shield. Sometimes it'll have things written on it, just like little tips for the DM so he can look at it. But behind the screen, he'll roll a dice, and you won't know the zombies or the monster's initiative, but I got 12 for him. So the zombies' initiative is 12. So Pamela gets to attack first. What I don't have is a battle map. Usually every DM has a battle map. Kind of new to it, so I don't have it. But this will work fine. So say that I gotta choose a dice that I won't be using. Okay, I'm gonna choose the D100. Say the D100 is the zombie, and they're right on this hexagon. And the D4 is Pamela, and she came out right there. So you would use the grid as a grid, obviously. And then moving, I'm going to say each hexagon is 5 feet. Reasonable. So, then, if you're doing combat encounters, you can do one of a couple of things. You can move toward the creature, in which case that'll take up one of your actions. You'll have to move. And then, the second one is take an action like an attack action. You can flee or run away, and you can use magic. Pamela doesn't have any because she is a barbarian. Don't know how to use magic. So I'm going to say Pamela attacks the zombie with her great axe. Now, you would need to roll, and you would roll a d20, and this would be to get past their armor class. So I rolled an 8, and you wouldn't know this, but the zombie's armor class is an 8, so it gets past it. Once you roll the d20 and get past the armor class, you can then roll for damage for whatever you're doing. So, since I was doing a great axe, and since I'm holding it two-handed, I roll a d10 for damage. That was 0. Apparently we attacked it, and I don't know. We sliced at it, and it didn't work. Didn't work. Maybe your weapon's blunt. I don't know. How would you know? You wouldn't. Now, the next one is the zombie gets to attack since it's next up in initiative. If you're having more players, have them all roll for initiative, and then you would roll for your monsters, and then you would set them up in the order they're going. Highest goes first, lowest goes last. So, the next one is the zombie, and the zombie is going to move up. So, the DM would choose to move up the zombie, so now they're about 5 feet apart. And that was one action. Now it can take a bonus action, and then it can't take a bonus action in its next turn. That's just how bonus actions work. So, the zombie is going to, I gotta click on actions. Its attack is called Slam. Basically it's a melee weapon attack, where it hits. It hits at the person. So then I'm gonna roll, since I'm the DM, I would roll to attack. I go and then I would say to the player, does a 7 hit? And then you would look at your character sheet, you look at your armor class, and you would go, no. If it's anything, if my roll is anything above your armor class, I hit. Anything below, I don't hit. That's how armor classes work. So, there, I wouldn't be able to hit Pamela. So I would go to hit, and and then I would narrate that these things are going on. So I would say the zombie attempts to swing his arm around and hit you, but swings too high and goes right over your head. That would be feasible because Pamela's, well, no, wouldn't be feasible because she's a dragonborn, but maybe it just bounced off of her. I don't know. As a DM, you would need to make up these things if you're watching this to become a DM. And then next up is Pamela again. It just keeps swapping like that. And then if you have more players, it goes down the line and down the line again. So it'll be first one, second one, third one, first one, second one, third one. It'll go like that until the encounter's over. So now it's Pamela. Pamela, let's say she puts her great axe back in her holder, takes out her mace and tries to swing at the monster. Say the player wanted to do that. You would now switch to your mace, which is 1d6 bludgeoning. You would roll a d20 again. That's 17. And that definitely gets past the zombie's armor class of 8. So, you got that covered. Now you do 1d6. And that's 1. So, the zombie would be damaged 1. And its hit points are 22. So, it would now be 21. And that's sort of how encounters go. Now, when you get into the farther part of an encounter, I talked about this last episode, but if you get downed, which means you lose all your hit points and you're downed, then you would have to take death saves. Monsters don't take death saves, just characters. So, that's how you're organizing it. And that is the basics of how a combat encounter works. See you guys later.